this time. Because this is urgent. No, this is urgent.
The children can watch TV, let's have a meeting.
Because what's going to happen is we are running out of time.
I get a church in the morning.
Sorry, everybody. We are running out of time, yeah?
Yeah, the next Sunday.
Which
Easter weekend, I'm going away from a lot of people won't be here.
weekdays, how many people are available on
Like
weekdays?
the lady said, Easter weekend, Easter weekend.
Because we need to make a decision on whether are we getting a lawyer. Everybody's going to go make an investigation, individual investigation, find out how we're going to move forward.
I'm Trina Kunu. I stay in number 11 Penzance. That's not far from Flamingo Court. Well, I used to reside in Flamingo Court for about 20 years, 21 years.
My name is Fondo Zatembe Sbia, but people in the building Flamingo Court call me Mfanya. I live in Flamingo Court, of course, Unit 715. Been living here, I think this year marks 20 years in Flamingo Court. Yeah, and this is the place I grew up.
It was a great experience. I mean, it was a community. You know, there was a whole lot of culture. Even if we all came from different places, I mean, we found the culture in the unity. Yeah, and then that was Flamingo for me.
My name is Spamandla Charles Josana, and I live in Flamingo Court. I came in this flat, it was 1998. I can't remember the month, but it was 98.
When I came in the Flamingo Court, we used to be a much closer community. The neighbors, there was a community of whereby neighbors in the evening would all stay, go watch. We didn't have TV, we didn't have lights at home until 2002. So we used to watch TV at 7:13, and then just because it was such a close community, you'd end up eating supper there, and then they'd carry me back home when I'm tired and sleepy.
When we were growing up as kids, from the first floor, you would know every house, first floor up until the 13th floor. Every person that stayed in the building, you would know who's who. Even if visitors came, you'd know who visited who. You know, you wouldn't have you'd probably quickly pick up who doesn't belong here, you know? Yeah, back then.
I've been staying here for 20 years, of which by me staying here, it's been good, but there are some things that have not been good, like everyone knows about life, how it goes ups and downs.
It's not conducive anymore. I'd like to leave Flamingo now. Yeah, I'd like to leave Flamingo. I've overstayed my stay in Flamingo. Yeah, Flamingo is not a place to live. I wouldn't support Flamingo Court. A lot of funny business going around.
I mean, the place needs to be livable first, you know? I don't mind having all the external guys. We could all come together and become one, because as we met, we all came from different townships, you know? It worked back then. It doesn't matter, they come from further, it can still work, you know what I mean?
Flamingo is home.
It's nice. Sweet. You get the guys who was to candy imoto Flamingo.
Yeah, get a guy who was a candy phone.
Was a candy phone.
Candy fridge.
Nangu munye yathunga lana.
Amawindi.
Nami ngiyakunda abantu emakhanda. Nangu munye ushay construction. Yeah, a lot of things is happening in the Flamingo.
Find a plumber in Flamingo.
Ukalaza yabo ipoto lesiZulu.
That guy up there, they were supposed to come with us for the music.
You must fight with them. Remember, at the end of the day, this is all our building.
That's true.
And we don't save the building. Who's going to save you for us?
No one. Here it is, that's one.
From the time we've been here, there have been some problems that the community has been facing, like municipality problems, many things. And like now we've got a court case going on, and like we are expecting to see what is going to be said, because we just want to get rid of the administrator, of which was the things that was brought to us not knowing, and we don't know who our trustees in our flats.
So the strategy that we came up with is that we're going to do a High Court application for both places, Neighbourhood Court and Flamingo Court, at the same time, a joint application to the High Court. Doing what? It's a 4-stage application, urgent application that is done in 1 day. I'm still going to say it in Gizu. It's a 4-stage application. Firstly, removing Andrew as the administrator permanently. Secondly, he must surrender all his financial books. And any payments that were made to, they must surrender their books and their bank accounts and their bank statements for assessment. Thirdly, bringing every proceeding to stay. When I say bring every proceeding to stay, any court matter, any court case, anything that is in court must stop. Nothing will go forward, nothing will go backwards. Whoever is in the building stays in the building, whoever is out of the building stays out of the building for now, until we find a solution to what we should do with you.
Ukhona ummeli lo wala ebesimtholile webhilidi ufuna ukuthi ayilokhuze le ndaba uyena ongithumile ukuthi angiye la manje na bashoke bathi into ngiye nje ngolesihlanu yabo ngoba ngingayanga nje basanda ukungisurviveele le ncwadi bangisende nje manje bengididekile mina ngingazi ukuthi ngoze ngikhishwe mina kanjani ngikhishwe kanjani mina ngedwa kanjani mina ngedwa ngikhishwa mina ngale mali mina ngedwa eyani le mali ngoba abangichazela mina nguJabu Ngcobo uhlala lapha eFlamingo ongasebenzi onezingane abazukulu engihlala nabo ngiyazisebenza nje ukuyidayisela ama-chips no sweet enzela ukuthi kuphile abantwana. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngangena ngo-1994 kusho ukuthi ngiyacabanga ukuthi mhlambe 22 to 23 years akuswela from 1994 kuze kube manje ngangihlala ekhaya emafamu eMbombo. Yeah. So mangihlala eMbombolo ke sasuka emakhaya ngoba sekwashona abazali bonke. Yaphela indawo. So anginawo abafowethu anginaba obo sisters nabo brothers anginabo ngingedwa nje. Yeah. sifike lana nelezi ingane lezi sazikhulisela khona la khona la kule ndawo ingane besiyafika nazo lana ngoba wawungayitholi indlu la ungenazo izingane uma uyi single parent abanginiki indlu ungenayo ingane kodwa uma unezingane bayanika so siphiliseneke sifikile singomama la bonke benezingane sonke sinezingane kwayizona ke lezi ngane sizikhulisayo kule ndawo siyibambele thina ngamazinyo kungekho umuntu osiyekelelayo owesilisa siphila nje kamnandi kanjalo nama uma khona nenkinga zakwazi sihlalisane nabo mama siphilisane makhona kudinga la kunomkhuleko uma kuneyinkinga sikhuleke futhi ndawonye makhona oshodayo ngokunye siphane siphane nje ukudla yabona makhona olambile ngoba sifuna ukuthi ngabe khona umunye olambayo abanye bekhona bakutholayo siyaphilisana nje yonke ngalondle.
Yeah, main thing I recognize is that like Flamingo is like a community of like mothers, you know?
Yes.
So like regardless of what corner you go around Flamingo Court,
Yeah.
like you gotta find
You
like,
catch it for no one. Yeah.
That's like one of them is gonna be your mother, so you gotta always like show that respect,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's one thing about Flamingo that has always like felt. So
And Flamingo Court's youngsters from small. So we're going to take his age group from small. If you caught them doing something, it's all the most pleasantly, precautionary well, sorry, it won't ever happen again, and blah, blah, blah. We know it will, but anyway, it's always that well-manneredness. You'll never get a mouthful of cheek. Yeah. And even though we know that behind your back, the most you're going to do it again anyway. It's just the way it is. So yeah, I think I think Flamingo Court is actually a home to a lot of people, a lot of children, a lot of teenagers, married people that have moved and gone, you know. And I think that's why you get the older people stay because, you know, they got a connection with the building.
Not less than 25 days prior to the date of sale, an interest party may submit to the sheriff in writing further or amended condition of sale. Their conditions of sale upon which the attached property is to be sold by public auction will be prepared by the execution creditor.
A whole lot of people, when Flamingo started going down, they left. I mean, the ones who could afford, they left and then they neglected. So the ones who couldn't afford are the ones that suffer. You know, I don't want to say they suffer because of the people that left because they neglected and they started renting out. And then foreigners came, they didn't care as long as they got their money, whereas the people that still living inside were suffering. You know, they couldn't say anything.
Myself, I can't say the actual process of what happened while they were handing, but what I know from what I've been told by the parents is that they say it was a low cost. People who are earning low money, they are the ones who are affording to stay in this flat, of which it did happen. People were paying from 98 till 2003, if not 4, but I'm not sure, but 2002 or 3. Then we became co-owners of the flats, like we were all owning the flats. Title deeds were held, of which I'm not quite sure because I'm not the owner of the flats. My grandfather is the owner of where I stay.
Oh, I don't know what changed. I don't know what's changed because it's like very huge, like it's broad, like so much change. Neighbors are no longer talking to one another, gossiping at one another.
It's a homely building. When you walk in, never ever think you'll walk in this building and you're going to just get upstairs and have a lovely cup of tea. It doesn't work that way. By the time you get upstairs, 10 people have stopped you. By the time you get into your flat, your voice has been cut. You're so thirsty. And if you want to go out, Don't tell someone I'll meet you up the road in 5 minutes. It's not possible. So, you know, it doesn't. So now what I'm trying to say is there's always that something's going on. Someone's going to tell you something, you know. There's always something, It's just like you don't even have to know the person well for talking to them. We can talk about a t-shirt. You know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we go to Plaza, you just see Flamingo Court. You go to Spa, you just see Flamingo Court. If you go to Kentucky, you'll see my girls there. My tenants, Kentucky girls. So, wherever you look is just Flamingo. Yeah.
You can see Flamingo from everywhere as well.
Yes.
One of the tallest buildings.
Yeah. So it becomes I suppose if you want to look at it this way, I suppose you feel like sort of in a comfort zone. You know, I'm a resident of Flamingo Court, Umbilo Road, and I have been for the last 24 years. My name is Brenda Poole. I'm a pensioner now, you know, which I live on my own and rent my rooms out because all the children are grown up. Oh, I have a pretty good life. Because one is I just close my door when I've had enough of the noise. I put my TV on and I don't hear nothing. And I live okay. When I do get a bit fed up and I get a bit cabin fever, I pack a little bag and I go and visit my kids. Yeah, for a few days and then I come home. Nobody interferes with me.
Sifiso Kumale is my name. I'm from Claremont Township. What I do, I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, choreographer, dance teacher. Yeah, at the moment I'm working under a Flatfoot dance company. So yeah, I hardly spend time in this space, in this flat. I'm mostly at work and I come back at night times in the afternoons, maybe. On Sundays I keep myself in here or I go to a pub somewhere in town and have myself some drinks or for karaoke, you know, in downtown. So in most cases I hardly spend time in around the flat, you know, especially the park. I've never used the park ever since I've been here. And we have a sport ground, sport field. That's where I use it for jogging and kind of keeping myself in good exercise. I think as a tenant, I'm kind of shying away of the happenings and most especially the meetings that kind of build maybe everyone in the flat, of which is wrong. But those things I think should be directed to the owner, maybe the owner comes back to us and say, hey, Sifiso, maybe would you help me maybe go to that meeting and maybe hear things and hear what are they talking about in the meeting, and maybe because I won't be able to attend.
I'm actually Israel is my name. Gus, and most of my friends, they know me as Gus. I'm staying here with my family. This is a nice place to be actually, if only we can make it better. It's convenient actually for everything. We've got no problems going to the shop. We've got no problem going to town. So everything is just around here. You know why is a community? That's why you know there's a change. There's even a change. Is when say now the community start taking responsibility and conscience. That's why you can see this change here. Because before everyone was relying on someone to take care of. So when the community came together now, they start like looking after some other issues. That's why you can see now there's a change. So now I've noticed that now is a community because people are living together. There's no trouble. There's no everything we were seeing before here. So people, they are listening to each other. People, they can talk to each other nicely. Yeah, this is a community, and I can see that the community was taking responsibility and charge of the building. That I can see there's a lot of changes here. Yeah, it's all about a bit of conscience. Yeah. everything will be back to normal.
Now, I missed the court case because I fractured my shoulder. Yeah, so I couldn't go there. But now I believe the case got remanded. So they're not happy with that. Now they're blaming the lawyers, but I don't think it's the lawyers. That's just court. You know, the court's always remanding something. It's just the way they operate.
Yeah, I think understandable because let me understand because magistrate is not ukuthi lawyer ubambe amaphepha yefika late. The magistrate ifuna understand exactly ukuthi kwenzekani. Then ke lento awethu amaloya ukuze akwazi ukuthi akwazi ukusifayithela i-magistrate understand ukuthi kwenzakalani. Advocate understand because the court is no, I don't know about this. The advocate no, yes, because the paperwork is there, but you know, no, there's the finance is better together.
Kade befile 2 weeks ago. Stations.
Okay. Hello, nomncane. Ngithi okay. Right. Asayibhemi ihunga lo. Hayi Nkosi yami ingane. Uyabona ya.
Kwendayenza kufani.
Akufani nala kade ehleli bona abafana behunga badoza.
Correct.
Hey, bakithi.
Oh, this is home, actually. You know why I'm saying it's a home? Because me, home, when I feel that my children are safe, so I can say it's home, even if I'm not around, you know, as we're not around all the time. So my children can go up, can go down, send them to the shop, even the shop inside the Flamingo. Before I couldn't send a child somewhere go to the shop next door. No, actually Flamingo is Flamingo is a home, is a place to stay, and if only all together we can make more effort, it's gonna be better. It's gonna make it more better. It's gonna be a better place to stay.
For me, I've grown a thick skin, so it's safe for me, but it's not safe for the elderly. It's not safe for the children. Like bottles lying on the floor, people walking in and out, and there's no account of any person walking in and out. So it's just not a safe place for, yeah.
Flamingo Court is good. You can't be robbed in Flamingo Court. It's alright. People are like welcoming and all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, they're good. But some of them you find those faulty people like elsewhere. You get those ones who are tough. They just want to show themselves who they are. Yeah, but can't complain.
Flamingo Court, there's a generation of kids that always grown up. So now there's a new generation of young kids. I think you guys saw them outside. So now, since here at home we have my young cousin is in grade 3. They all now they come together here in 7th floor and they make a huge noise, but they play soccer here, ride their skateboards. Yeah, it's just it's like the central place for the young kids to come play here. But when we were growing up, we used the park a lot. I got like my scars to show the park. Yeah, I think my floor it's the place for the young kids. But other than that, there's nothing besides that.
Well, for me, I grew up here. You know, I grew into the place. I am the place, so I will not feel safe. You know what I mean? But for kids as well, it's not safe But what I would say is, with us as like the elder generation, we know whose kids or who are the kids, so they'd cry to any one of us, you know, and we'd quickly jump into that and resolve that situation, you know, before it gets out of hand or anything like that. And then after that interaction with that person, we then build a relationship, and that's how we get to know all the diverse people in the building. I'd like to say, but amongst all my friends, we're the ones who kind of like try to bring that unity in the flat.
Yeah, in Flamingo Court, like I said, there's my generation, and then before mine was Cleaner's generation, and then before Cleaner's generation, there were the older guys' generation. So there was a close interlink with that. Of course, with Cleaner's generation and my generation, we were different, you know. So they were the ones picking on us, and then we are the ones picking on the younger ones now. So yeah, I mean, there's like that brotherly love, that where you bully them but also give them a 1 rand to go buy sweets, you know. Yeah.